let's go to the positions. Let's see what we did. Let's see what we're doing. Again, the link is up here. If you want to join, please grab it. You guys can see this, I'm sure. Is Ethereum flying? Something's going on. What is going on? Yep, we're at 4,600. Well, maybe over the weekend they'll melt it up. Okay, what's going on? What positions do we have? Well, we had the perfect positions. If you guys, by the way, I run this channel with absolute and full transparency. Nothing to hide, nothing to prove, not in a pissing race. I don't care about who's doing what. I'm just trying to make some money. And what I do is I post all my positions for the regular subscribers every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the community page of the YouTube channel. So where's the community page? It's on the YouTube channel. There's in the middle, there's a row where it says videos, shorts, live, things like that, podcast, whatever. All the way to the right is Anyway, all the way to the right, it says post. Click on that and you'll see the positions. So none of this, again, is trading or financial advice or investment advice. I'm full transparency. I post my positions. I post my positions for the members every day, and that's the perks of being a member. I post all the trades live as fast as I can. As soon as I execute it, I'll post it for the members. Again, none of it is trading or financial advice. You can do whatever you want with your money. But if you're going to tag along, be careful, because what I do is very risky. And but it works for me. So what's going on today? So I had a synthetic on, and I am cleaning that up slowly. And so what was the synthetic on BMNR? I sold put credit spreads, and with that money, I turned around and bought call debit spreads. So that's called a synthetic. I usually do synthetic just selling puts, buying calls. It's like a stock replacement trade kind of a thing. And this was an extremely, extremely equity efficient trade. And I had 20 lots. So basically the trade was sell the October 17th regular expiration, 45 puts, buy the 40 puts. So that's the put credit spread. I did that with credits, and turn around and buy a 50/70 call debit spread. When I did, the stock was 45. This was about, I don't know, about 10 days ago, maybe. Stock was at 45. Then the stock dropped to 40 or even 39. So what happens? There's a short leg of the call debit spread. I bought those back at a 50% gain, released my calls to the wild. And yesterday or the day before, I sold the calls with profits as well. And then now I'm watching the put credit spread melt in my favor, obviously. And I'll just let that go. I'm down to 5 lots. I may cover some. My credit on the put credit spread is $4. So I sold whatever is remaining now. I sold the 45 puts at $8.15, bought the 40 puts at $5.10. So my credit is 4. Well, we're down to about maybe 180, so it's 50% already. A long time to go to October 17th. I'll probably close it at 50-60% and say goodbye to BMNR. I'm taking losses today on NEO. One of my members is loaded on NEO. I hope it goes to 10 for his sake. I had bought 200 puts at about 19-20 cents. I sold some actually last week about 21. I sold some more today. I have some sell orders today. I'll just take a loss, get out. I was long 4,000 shares of PPSI at 373. So about 450. I'm trimming that. I have a sell order today at 455 and 485. If it does, we're down to 1,500 shares. I'm trimming pretty much everything. And the two big positions are SBAT, full position on SBAT. In fact, I'm selling I did the same thing with BMNR that I did with SBAT, but on SBAT, I waited until we got down to almost like 0.85 MNAV, and I started putting the position on and patiently waited like the lion in the bushes. So I have a put credit spread on 17.5, short 17.5 puts, long 15 puts. I put that on about $1.40 credit. I took that money, spent some of it, most of it actually, on a 20/30 call debit spread. And this went against me as well, but just like BMNR did initially. Bought the calls back at 55% gain, the naked side. Let the calls be. So I'm down to 25 calls from 60. But my put credit spread stays. I'm going to suck all the juice out of it as much as I can out of the put credit spread. And so I have some more sell orders on SBAT long call side. I had 60 of them. They were down to 25. But when the stock did go down, instead of adding to the October series, because I do believe long-term Ethereum is going to do well, especially by the end of the year or January levels. So what did I do? I went and opened a new position with new series going out to January 2026. I sold 15 puts. Again, put credit spread, sold the 15 puts, bought the 12.5 puts. With that money, I turned around, bought the 15 calls, and sold the 25 calls. I did not do that with credits. I did it probably maybe 15, 20 cent debit, but now they're way ahead. That position is way ahead. Obviously, stock is 17.30, and the calls are in the money. The puts are out of the money. That's exactly the way you want it. You know, a lot of people ask me, what is this called? I mean, it's sort of a synthetic, really. Again, this was an absolutely amazingly equity efficient trade. When I say, so I could have bought SBAT or I could have bought BMNR, but that's not like you plopping money. I mean, I could have done it, but I couldn't do it at this size. You know, to do 60, well, at the moment 75, put credit spreads, it cost me literally nothing. It cost me like, I don't know, 17, 18 grand. And the return on that, the ROI on that is immense. But if I bought 7,500 shares of SBAT at 17 or 16, well, or 7,500 shares, it's going to cost me 130 grand, 140 grand, whatever. I have the account size, I can do it, but then I can't do anything else. I don't want to go into margin. New position I put on a couple of days ago, going out to December on Semler Scientific. Now, this is an existing company, but then also actually their BTC holdings, Bitcoin holdings are way above the market cap at the moment. And I saw that, right? And then so I put on the same position again, another synthetic. I sold the 30 puts, bought the 25 puts, and bought the 30 calls, and sold the 40 calls. So I'm keeping the position as is. It's at 29 and change now, 29.25. Yeah, we're just going to keep it. I see a run to 40 probably if Bitcoin runs to 125, and we'll take all the juice out of it and then deal with it at that time. So those are my, forgot, what am I doing? Last but not least, yesterday I started putting on some put debit spreads on UPRO. UPRO is the 3x ETF of SPY. I'm up to 45 lots. I'm buying the 105 puts. Index is at 107.40. I'm buying 105 puts and selling 95 puts at a $2 debit, somewhere around there. I'm up to 45. I have more orders, as you guys can see, to add to it. I do this once in a while. You know, you can look at it as a hedge of existing positions or a directional bet, actually. So I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I could be right, I could be wrong. I don't think we're going to melt up if they cut the rates, especially if they cut the rates 50 basis points. I think we're going to have a pretty strong down week coming up. So that's my bet, and I'm sticking to it. That's all there is to it. I could be right, I could be wrong. So this is a 5-to-1 put debit spread on something that really moves quite a bit. Now, why didn't I do it on SPX or SPY? Well, premiums were extremely high on SPY, SPX especially. But if the market's going to pull back, maybe even 2-3%, which is the usual pullback, this thing is going to move because this 3X is going to move 7-8%. So this will work out if the market's going to pull back. If the market's not going to pull back, these are going out to October 17th, regular expiration. And if it doesn't pull back, because it's a put debit spread, I'm not going to get killed. It's kind of a direction. Obviously, I want the market to go down for these, but then it's also giving me some cover or protection for the rest of the positions that I have, and especially on SBAT and SMLR and BMNR. I'll be out today at some point. In fact, let me just put an order in. If that thing is moving up now, you could tell they did some ATM sales on the stock at 52 almost today. It took it all the way down to 49. So we had sold the puts, the 45 puts at 815. They're down to 350. And we have bought the calls at 510, and they're down to 180, let's say. So now we're going to do the reverse. We sold the puts and bought the puts. Now we're going to do the reverse side on one ticket, hopefully. So now we're going to buy the 45 puts that we sold, and we're going to sell the puts that we bought at half the cost, meaning a 55% profit, hopefully, because I put them on at 4 credit. And we're going to sell these. Where are we? 178 debit. Let's negotiate. Let's do it at 175. So I put them on a 410, 175. It's reasonable. Let's close that position as well. Done. Okay, so we're out of BMNR altogether. Now on pullbacks, we know what to do. We put credit spreads. The reason I did the put credit spreads as opposed to regular synthetics that I do is because I don't know what's going to happen to Ethereum, right? Everybody is bullish, but you get a quick sell-off to 3,500, BMNR is going to go to 25. I don't want to get stuck with a position. So when I do put on a put credit spread, it's limited downside with all the upside exposure. That's why you do these things, folks. That's why that's the third P. The third P is planning. You have a plan, you execute, and you stick to it, period. There's no ifs, there's no buts about it. And so with a defined risk, maximum upside potential trades, right? If you know what you're doing with derivatives, with options especially, and if your timing is reasonable, they work. And then especially if you do these things with credits, you're getting paid to play, and you make sure it's equity efficient. Equity efficient meaning it's not killing your buying power. It fit the bill, especially if on SBAT's case when it dropped to 0.85 MNAV. I mean, okay, the way I'm looking at it is if Ethereum is 4,500 and SBAT's Ethereum holdings are more than the market cap, no brainer. Do it all day long. Could MNAV go to 7.75? Of course it could. So I'll add. But you have conviction. You can, you're convinced of something. You go execute the trade, and then the market gods are going to do what they're going to do. That's it. There's no ifs and buts about it. So, BMNR is melting up now. 52 now. Wonderful. Well, we know what to do on pullbacks. 46.13 on ETH. Let's go ETH. Maybe over the weekend they'll pop it to 5,000, and Monday morning I'll come in with SBAT flying. We'll see. What else is going on? That's about it, man. It was a great week. It really was a great trading week. Maybe I'll have a 5-figure day today. We'll see. We'll see if all the stars line up.